Welcome to this tutorial on Twogere, the online platform connecting you to experts in face-to-face consultations. Let's open up the site, twogere.com. As you can see, this is a minimal page that provides information on what the platform is about. And viewing the slider, you can see if you're a client and you need to consult, you can meet live experts. And if you're a business or a consultant and you want to reach further, you can launch your virtual office. So these are the two concepts behind Twogere. So as a client, from the comfort of my home, I can enter a free, secure meeting room, and without having to travel, no need to spend time in traffic or line up in queues. I can be able to connect to this platform and meet experts. So there's no registration, no downloading apps, and if we move over here and see the definition, Twogere is a live meeting platform for private face-to-face consultations without the prior need to know either party's personal contact information. And the meetings are timed to foster productivity and designed to be anonymous and secure. So to elaborate the major differentiating factor between Twogere with conventional video-enabled communication platforms or apps like WhatsApp, Skype, Facebook, Google Hangout, whether it's video, Zoom HD, these are all designed to allow you to communicate to people that you decide you are going to entrust with your private or confidential information to some degree. So in a sense, you have to give up a little privacy in order to engage in face-to-face conversations with anyone. And that architecture, in a sense, limits the circle of networks to your friends, your family, and some, your business associates. Basically, as a consultant, unfortunately, I can't open up my private information to let any random person connect directly to me. And the primary mode of access of these systems is based on something personal. So for WhatsApp, for example, you look at the mobile number stored in your directory, or I need to know the email of a consultant or people that I want to send meeting invites to so that I can connect to them in a virtual meeting room and begin meetings, or some other form of fixed ID. If you look at the Skype ID, so at the end of the day, today, in this day and age when there are increased cyber threats and online privacy concerns, people are more conscious and paranoid of who they allow into their social networks. And so contrary to what you might believe on social media, this is actually caused a lot of consultants, a lot of experts, a lot of high-profile executives to become virtually inaccessible. For example, we've recently seen lots of cybersecurity incidents where people's bank accounts, their online profiles get hijacked through social engineering just by using someone's phone number or email address. So this is highly sensitive. But with Twogere, this is not a requirement for me to communicate or to consult with an expert. So moving forward, we can see here the second concept is launching your virtual office. And so what's the value proposition for you as a business, as an institution, a government or a non-government organization, or you're just an independent consultant? With your virtual office, you can make your team centrally accessible regardless of their physical location. So this makes it easier for a client to find what they want, the services and who they want to talk to. So as a virtual office, with a virtual office, you have one central view of a client has one view where clients can access profiles of different team members from different departments who have different responsibilities. If you talk about your sales, your technical, your admin, your human resources, your CRM, the client can then select who they want to consult with right there and then. So when I talk about these chat boxes that you see where you don't know who you're talking to, you're just typing text, with Twogere not going through people, as a client, you're able to just browse different profiles and immediately hit the key officers responsible for making decisions that will help you get the services that you need much quickly. So this is a slightly different approach, but it's been shown to yield better results in terms of client satisfaction and businesses meeting targets. Secondly, you're going to cut down, this is going to allow you to cut down operational costs. So if you're setting up a project or a business that's getting started and you don't want to incur costs associated with running team offices, furniture, sitting space, utilities, meals, transport, hygiene, you can basically have your team work remotely from their individual geographic localities, from their homes. They can manage their schedules individually and yet still be open for direct face-to-face communication with clients. And thirdly, when you look at cutting costs, basically from the view of the client, they're just all in one place. And when, cutting costs to you as a business enables you to create more job opportunities and offer employment to more people. You talk about our collective social responsibility. You can hire more people to work. You can cut down on unemployment in your country, and have interns, collaborating from different locations, but accessible from one under one view. So an additional service that I'll be talking to you shortly makes related to job sourcing, that makes sourcing for talent easy and cost effective. I'll be talking to you about that later on. Another thing is that you can now also have, I hinted on it earlier, you can have previously inaccessible project people, company staff. You talk about heads of department, high profile people. They can now be more available to the public without compromising their need for privacy. So you talk about managers, CEOs, technical directors. They can now interface and participate with in interactions with the public to get a feel, to get a pulse, and get a more clear idea of how the market is perceiving your services. So with Twogere, your business becomes more open, more accessible, so you get better management over the client services, your consumer relations, and so on. This is a link to how it works. This is when you click this, take you to more videos like this. You can book appointments with the experts in case you find them offline. There is provision for you to set notifications. And at the bottom here, there is on the left-hand corner, you can see these are links to more information. Later on, when you're more familiar with the platform, you'll be pushing the begin meeting button, so take you straight into the live meeting room. I'm going to push the learn more here, and just so with Twogere, we are making experts and services more accessible. And if you're looking to expand into new untapped territories, new markets, this is a great platform for you to generate new leads cost effectively. And you talk about your sales, your business development teams being more available and accessible to unknown potential clients. So on Twogere, all you have to do is create your virtual office in a relevant category that attracts and is constantly browsed by clients, and your representatives have them available around the clock. That's basically it. But unfortunately, with most services, whether it's legal, whether it's health, most of them we know are concentrated in urban centers. So for remote communities, this Twogere is a platform that enables us to improve on the delivery of these critical services to the market. So if we're talking to the country, if you're talking about access to justice, you're now able to access lawyers remotely. People are able to access legal aid providers. Those who are incarcerated, the prisoners can now, from prison facilities, very easily get access to counsel face-to-face. Justice, you can have justice centers set up in communities, information kiosks or telecenters where with somebody manning a station just to get people to learn how to browse and access people remotely. Because every person has at least one connection to somebody who has a smartphone, and so instead of traveling miles to access a service, from the comfort of your home, you can be able to access justice. So if we talk about telehealth, a simple and secure way to interact with remote healthcare providers, experts. So with Twogere, this is a very easy, convenient platform that's going to help prevent overcrowding in our health centers, reducing the strain and the burden on the personnel, so they can take care of more critical issues. If you consider the outpatient consultations, those outpatients, those are those who visit health centers and are not admitted. We know that you find that at least 50% of issues could have been resolved remotely if a physician could be able to see a patient from their home. Remember, it's not a question of unavailability of technology. These solutions exist. What we've seen, the reasons why consultants are not using the conventional platforms for remote consultations is really privacy concerns, and this has led to lost time, strained resources, and this is something that we try to address completely with Twogere. Mental health, think about mental health, another big concern. Cases where a local psychiatrist is unavailable and people have to travel long distances. Again, think about prison facilities where inmates frequently require ongoing mental health care. with a platform like this, doctors can remotely monitor patients in real time without having to be at the facility. We're cutting down on costs incurred in traveling, saving time, allowing doctors to see more critical patients. And importantly, what I think is very important with telehealth, telemedicine, is we're reducing the barrier of stigma associated with patients, visiting some of the facilities, talking about mental health particularly, there is a lot of stigma associated with patients traveling to a facility. So if we look again to business and trade, e-learning, access to tutors, apprenticeship opportunities, sponsors, e-government, you can now have access to different government representatives, have conversations going on, have the public influencing policy, so this is a very easy platform that brings all this functionality to you, business and trade. If we just to talk about connecting directly to local and regional businesses, financial agents, so many opportunities out there, the client services. If you look at current social media marketing campaigns, if you're now just talking about Twogere as a direct marketing platform for you as a business, traditionally the way the other platforms work is if you right now send an advert on social media, they're basically based on artificial intelligence, machine learning. So what happens is these technologies will run through these platforms, scraping for different information on clients' profiles, their forums, their blogs, their texts. And based on the information that they run through, they try to make an intelligent guess on whether the person that you've sent the advert to or what you're trying to market, they now based on that information try to find whether that person qualifies to receive your ad. And if you think about it, this is really often ineffective, results in missed opportunities, mismatches, because really the information that I post online on my blog, on my site, on my account doesn't necessarily reflect my current need as a potential client. So by far the more effective alternative I would argue is to make the decision that of a client choosing or looking for services by engaging in promoting online face-to-face anonymous access to your business representative. So the more the more your people are available online to anonymous access, then it's up to the client, because you don't know who is in need of a service. So this is one of the things that Twogere helps with. So by and far, nothing beats face-to-face. It's a more natural dynamic. Experience shows that people are more relaxed, more willing to open up from the comfort of their homes. They're drawn to conversation-centered solutions where, I can see somebody, I can examine your body language, I can feel free with the person that I'm consulting with. So if you have, again with Twogere, if you have an upcoming event, a conference, we have provision that allows you to create and market, say, a conference, a seminar, a workshop, a meeting. So it's very, very easy. All you do is just create the event, post the details online, and enter a meeting room where anyone can approach and discuss with your business representatives. So whether they need directions, whether they know. So imagine you have an event in 3 months from now. All you do on Twogere is just post the event and just be available, and anybody around the world who is interested in your event that you posted can engage in face-to-face communication with you. And so when you talk about employment, tap into regional markets. For you as a business, if you have an available job opening, all you do on Twogere is just post that and be available. So cutting down on the time it takes to sift through hundreds of CVs that people would be sending to you. Then you have to set meetings and people have to come to your office. But with Twogere, you can just post an interview, much same way that you would post an event, and then conduct interviews online. So this is really cost effective. So we have I'd encourage you to join and give up your time as a partner. Twogere provides a facility for experts who wish to charge. We have the Twogere Pay that will enable you to earn consultation fees. But however, with the foundation, partnership with the foundation, we'll be asking you to provide some free minutes of consultation time to people in need and those who can't afford the services. So Twogere is working with, currently, as far as the foundation is concerned, we're working with legal aid providers to have some of their consultants on Twogere, mental health providers, disaster risk relief refugee-based organizations and other interested humanitarian organizations here, how we can provide remote support to vulnerable communities. So I'm just going to hit the quick start here. So later on, when you're more familiar, you'll be going straight to the meeting room. So the quick start gives the steps that you take to once you're inside the meeting room, what you need to do to use the platform. So if I'm a client and I just want to consult, there are 3 steps. If I'm an expert, I want to join in as an expert. I want to create a virtual office. I want to register an interview, an upcoming event, carry out interviews online. 3 steps. If I now as a consultant, there's 2-step authentication process that's basically SMS verification that allows us to avoid impersonation. And then a step, how do you get online? So as there are more links to our virtual office, and if you just go back up here, it says for corporate clients. So basically, if you have a virtual office running on Twogere, we can create. You can have a direct link from your website, from your social media accounts to your live experts. So in essence, a client on your website, for example, would push a button, and that would load up the meeting room with all your clients, all your consultants available for a client to choose. So we provide that functionality as well. So I'm going to go straight to the virtual room just to show an overview of what it would take for you to begin a meeting, and give you an indication of how the profiles look like. So once the meeting room loads up, takes a few seconds, it will tell you welcome to your virtual meeting room, and then there is the buttons that pop up here in the right hand corner. This is basically toggles the side menu that gives more advanced options. So consultants will be using this to verify your room. This is basically for the authentication, and then the additional settings. I'll come back to that later. So just as a client, I hit the menu button here, and it loads up the menu, and these are the different categories that we have available. So if I'm looking into upcoming events, I want to see what events are out there that have been posted. I can be able to see the categorizations, if it's a lecture, if it's a workshop, if it's some deadline, if it's some job recruitment. I can be able to click and interact with people who have posted those events face to face. And if it's an interview, again, we have another link here. These are quick links. Basically, if I'm looking for legal services, banking services, individual experts, we have, if I want to view people who have uploaded profiles just as individuals, if I'm looking for individual civil engineers, graphics designers, I can come under any of these categories and select them. And then to look into the virtual offices, companies that have created virtual offices, I can find them under the virtual offices tab here. So when I push this, it's going to pull out the different categories. So right now there are 3. If I click the IT consultant, for example, to see who are registered under that, you can see this is our company, Twogere company. So when I click the Twogere company, it's going to pull down. Now this is basically now showing our virtual office, the consultants that we have available for consultation, that anybody in the public. So you see, I just came into this meeting room without logging in, without having an app, without signing up. I can just see different profiles of who is available, who is offline, and this is basically what the profiles look like. So most of them are offline right now, and you can see one person is available right now, and it's saying he has Gilbert here has 2.5 hours online. So if I look at the others, they are all offline. And what you can see here, if I click the more information button here, it gives you more information. You can see right, she's an innovation engineer. This is where she's located, and this is the Twogere meeting time. The time when she's generally available is weekdays, afternoon, midday, mid-morning. If I look at Alex here, he's a lawyer. When I click to see a bit more about Alex, I can see he's in Kenya. So this is what I was talking about, a virtual office. You can have your team in different geographic locations, but they're all to a client. The client is viewing them under one screen. So I can see Alex is available weekdays and afternoon. So Rachel has gone ahead and indicated on her profile that she will be back. She'll be back online on Friday in the afternoon. So in addition to being letting you know that normally in the afternoon, mid-morning on weekdays is when she's around, today's Tuesday. So she's going ahead and saying, I'm going to skip Wednesday, I won't be available, but I'll be back on Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, probably she's out of town on assignment. But this is basically the kind of communication that you want as a client to be able to find when you're trying to interact and get into a meeting with people. And when you contrast that to other platforms, will more or less tell you the last time a consultant was seen, somebody was last seen. Man, and for me as a client, that's not very helpful. I need to know when somebody will be available so that I can schedule, so I can plan and be able to come and meet. So Alex hasn't mentioned when he's next going to be available, but I can click here and set an alert to get notified when Alex gets back online. So I just want to show you how easy it is. So as we can see, Gilbert is available, he's online. This button has a countdown timer showing how much time he has online. So in order just to get into a meeting, I just push that button.
Please confirm to begin the meeting.
And that's it. So once I click, I confirm here, the meeting between me and this consultant begins. And that's how easy
as you wish.
That's how easy it is to use Twogere. So it's all about just going, browsing the different categories, and then selecting the person I'm interested in talking to, and viewing their profile, and if they're available, I can then get into the meeting room. So thank you. That's all I wanted to cover in this presentation. Just to remind you, for experts, there's a step of phone verification. So for me to create a profile on Twogere, for me to put my room online as a consultant, I'll need to verify. So when I push that, what it does is that it brings this provision that where you can select your country code and then punch in your phone. It will send an SMS to you. That's just to avoid impersonation. And once you verify, then all your profiles are put online and shown available, so that clients can be redirected to your virtual meeting room. So thank you, and please look forward to having you on, and you'll be finding more videos available.